So, I mean, just talking about workspaces now, I mean, three of us have worked in a common workspace and we see how many women sometimes are present, and hats off to many of you who have to do scenes in the presence of so many men around in the workspaces that we work. You and me have been part of 2 films ourselves. Meghna, what about a corporate space? You being a woman at Scoop Whoop. I mean, I'm thinking Scoop Whoop is still quite progressive, but if you have spent some time in any other corporate space.
So I've actually been, I mean, Scoop Whoop, like you said, you know, we are, you know, our point of view has always been to not just be mindful of these things, but
let me point out, I don't think I've ever met a man from Scoop Whoop. I've met only the women in Scoop Whoop.
It's highly female dominated.
Yes, it is. Yeah, actually, we actually do have a half-half. So half our editors are women and half are men. So yeah, so and you know we actively champion the cause. So we're not just mindful. We are champions of you know, equal rights across groups, women, LGBT, etc., etc. So that way, I mean, you know, that's I'm privileged to work in a place like that. But also, I have been, in a sense, lucky, and also, I guess, sort of created that space. You know, since I've been working in media and advertising and all of that, there is it's a different kind of culture there. Right, so while a lot of the daily sexism that happens in corporates does exist, we do get the benefit, I guess, of being a more sort of open workspaces than very, very corporatized environments, and you know, so I think that way I have been lucky because I've worked in those industries, but I see it every day in other work spaces, you know, where the gender pay gap is very real. There is
the pay gap
yes,
also.
the wage gap is very real. Also, because you know what happens is that women, it comes from how you value yourself, right? So you don't tend to be as great negotiators as men when it comes to pay. And that is something that we've seen across, you know, not just India.
Coming back to the point about a woman feeling deserving enough herself. Does she feel deserving enough that I can't ask for so much?
Yes.
It's a man's sort of privilege to do.
No, I don't think it's a man's thing that comes into your head, but it's just how you value yourself.
I think it's your conditioning.
It's conditioning.
And ultimately, sorry to interrupt, but I completely agree with what Meghna is saying. I think at a large level, our social conditioning, our cultural conditioning from a very young age limits our potential in terms of what we think of what is possible. So it starts right in you know, around class 8, 9, beta arts loge ke science loge, girl not take arts or commerce. Is that conditioning as to why, I mean, why would you take not take science? Because you can't do science? No, I don't think that's correct. And if there is a two-wheeler that has to be bought, the boy will get the gear wala and the girl will get the non-gear. I mean, once you're riding a bike, you know you're a rider. Kalki is a big ass rider.
All 3 riders.
Once you're riding and the 2 wheels are in momentum, it's about balance. It's not about changing gears. But these small stereotypical conditionings from a very early age allow you to undervalue yourself because you feel maybe itne hi kabil hu, this much only I can do, this much. And probably that's what.
And actually it starts even younger, you know, look at preschoolers, look at the kind of, you know, when you go to give gifts to young children, you know, typically you go to a gift shop, you'll see the kind of gifts that they recommend you give a girl child as opposed to what you give a boy child. You know, I've had people, I have a 2-year-old daughter, and I've had guys in the gift shop tell me, नहीं ये drilling kit तो boys के लिए है, और हाँ तो आपको you know, cooking set चाहिए. So I'm like, no, I don't want to.
That's very interesting because, you know, I was in the airport just about a week, 10 days ago, and I was I stopped to buy my niece and my nephew a gift, and I asked 5-year-old girl, and he straight away took me to the cookery sort of section, and he said, "Sir, cooking set."
And maybe all pink.
So I said, she's not that kind of 5-year-old girl. She needs rollerblades or something. Can I get one of those things? Kalki, we'll move on to you. I mean, are you Indian French? I mean, because you're born here, and I think you may have.
When I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Okay,
Long live identity crisis.
I think she's definitely a French-looking girl with an Indian heart.
I'm fully Indian, but I'm obviously fully French. You know, I keep saying my skin is white, my heart is brown. I really, you know, I'm born here, brought up here, all my life I've been here. But of course, I've also had like a lot of.
So we can safely call you reverse coconut.
Yes. That's perfect. I like it.
So tell us, what was it like being, I mean, I don't know if that's really a racist sort of remark, but being a white-skinned girl in growing up in India and a woman also, what was it like? Any experiences?
Yeah, I really was this odd kid because I had really blonde hair as a kid and white, and I was in a small village called Periyamudalya Chavadi. So everyone
even I can't say that.
South Indian proper, yeah, for me it was, I think as a very young child, I don't remember being discriminated by the other kids. I think it was more the adults and how adults looked at you and separated you. And of course, with puberty and everything, you being the white girl, when my friends and I would go to Kovalam beach or, one of these hippie areas, it was always me who got asked for the drugs or, hit on by the guy because I was, seen as that Baywatch ladki or whatever. They have a reference of what a white girl should be like. So I had to, and then I would give it back, in Tamil, and they would be like, Yopa. Then they'd get even more excited, which was not good. So I had to fight my way through that stereotype. But I think even whatever your skin color, just being a girl, the gaze is so strong in India, the male gaze. You're constantly thinking about how you're stepping out. When I go to New York in the summer, I don't need to wear a bra. And it's such a liberating feeling, And here, I mean, you won't even think of it. You limit yourself all the time because, okay, I'm going to Lucknow. Okay, I'm going to take my salwar, So we have to limit ourselves because of things, but in a way, I also think you have to consciously make an effort to be like, no, okay, I have to be sensible, but I also have to be myself, and draw some lines there and push those limits of who you are, what you want to represent. I think it's really a constant effort for a woman to have to do that.
Sandeep, moving on to you. I mean, you said you grew up in a family of very empowered women, so I'm sure. I mean, even if I don't know where you grew up. Which city did you grow up in?
So I was born in Bhopal, and my dad was in PHL.
So I mean, this is pertaining to the whole country. I mean, you all see it all the time. Where women are suppressed or an incident, something that you want to talk about, and especially being from an empowered house where you have women who are so powerful, so strong. I grew up with a lot of powerful, strong women around me, and some of the things that used to happen around me used to really bother me. Yeah.
So for me, I would like to give two examples. One was where it's a very positive example, and this happened just a month back when I was in Punjab. So my grandparents are in Punjab. So my Mausi, my aunt actually, she's invested close to, let's say, 50 lakhs per granddaughter. She has two granddaughters. Both of them have gone to Canada for studies. And she was talking to them. I just went, I went because it's very difficult to get time. So I'd gone to, my mother was there, so I had to go and get her back. So I entered the house, and she was talking to a granddaughter in Canada. She's studying there. She's working at airport during 3 hours what she get. And they were asking, why did you send your granddaughters to Canada? You are living in a very small village in Punjab, wherein everybody is looking at marrying of the daughters after some basic education and all. She said, I'm very clear, for me, because she herself was a librarian. And she is very clear in her thought that for a family evolution to happen in the right way, it's very, very important that everyone is empowered. So the two granddaughters, she's invested close to 1 crore on them because the study, that's the kind of amount you have to invest when the kids have to go and study in Canada. And then she was talking to them, finish a study, and then you have to get you have to apply for your medicine course in US. So, sitting in a small corner in Punjab, I could see a woman empowering, a lady who is around 75, 80 is empowering her granddaughters because she believes that, she may have another 10, 15 years, but she wants the family evolution forever to happen in a very, very positive way. This is a very happy, positive example. There are examples where I could see one side of my relative, really not allowing the daughters to study and then marrying them off. And then you see, when you speak to your cousin sisters, when you go and talk to them, you feel, okay, they were here, they lived a life, but not a kind of life.
Let's stick to happy stories. Let's stick to good stories
and
powered
in fact,
stories.
When we were discussing this campaign, I said, this is a very happy example on this. Please, do something around this. And this is all, so we were looking at examples, positive example, because that's how we want to convey to the audience that, we have to contribute. Today, talking is something, but eventually, as a brand, as a citizen of the country, we have to do our bit. And that's very important.